Look, do you ever wake up and just feel completely stuck? Like you're grinding, you're putting in the effort, but it just feels like you're running in place every single day. Every day is just a carbon copy of the last one, and you're not moving forward. Well, in today's Explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that's happening to you, and more importantly, how to break out of it.
I want you to ask yourself right now, honestly, what are you doing with your life? I mean, you know you want more, you want change, but you keep doing the exact same thing every single day. Let's get one thing straight right off the bat. Success is not some Amazon package that's going to magically get delivered to your doorstep. You're not just going to stumble upon it walking down the street. It's something you actually have to go out and take.
You know, the average person spends over 2 hours a day just scrolling on their phone. That right there, that's the trap of simply existing. You wake up, you grab your phone, and you just watch other people living their absolute best lives. And all the while, you're just sitting there, stuck, waiting for this mythical perfect moment to start yours. But guess what? That perfect moment, it literally doesn't exist.
Seriously, how long are you going to keep telling yourself, oh, I'll do it one day? Let me tell you about one day. It's this magical, completely non-existent land where we trick ourselves into believing all our dreams are just going to organically happen. The psychological reality here is that perfection is a massive lie. The only thing that actually exists is right now. Every single second you waste waiting for one day is a second of your youth and your potential that you are never, ever getting back.
Think about it like this. There is a massive, gaping hole between you and the people who are actually winning out there. On one side, you have waiting. That's you sitting there overthinking every little detail about whether or not you should go for it. And on the other side, action, making moves. While you're sitting around hesitating, someone else is out there grinding, they're learning, and they are getting ahead. The world absolutely does not slow down for you. Your dreams are out there right now, but they're literally being snatched up by the people who are actually willing to fight for them.
So who's to blame for where you're at right now? Well, brace yourself, because here's the cold, hard truth you probably don't want to hear. Everything you don't have is entirely your fault. It's not your parents' fault, it's not your current circumstances, it's not your boss. It definitely isn't society. It is you. And honestly, the absolute worst part about this is that deep down you already know it. You know you're capable of so much more, but instead of facing that harsh reality, what do? We numb ourselves. We fall right back into those cheap dopamine loops of scrolling and binge watching.
Which brings us to a pretty piercing question. Where has your comfort zone actually gotten you? No, seriously, take a second and think about it. What has playing it safe and staying wrapped up in a warm blanket of comfort actually done for your life? The answer is absolutely nothing. Nothing truly great has ever in the history of the world come from staying comfortable.
It all boils down to this really harsh psychological rule. You can either have excuses or you can have results. But your brain, it literally cannot hold on to both at the same time. You look at successful people and think they magically have fewer problems or maybe more time or just better luck than you do, but they don't. They just flat out refuse to make excuses. Every single excuse you make is just a really convenient way to let yourself off the hook.
Here's the deal. Nobody is coming to save you. Just let that sink in for a second. I know you might be sitting there thinking, but man, life is unfair, or I had a really rough start, or I'm just going through a lot right now. Well, the brutal reality is that the market just doesn't care. No one is going to knock on your front door and hand you a better life on a silver platter. You gotta stop waiting for someone to feel bad for you. Because the only person who can actually change your life is the one staring right back at you in the mirror.
Okay, so how do we actually build a roadmap out of this trap? First things first, we have to take the entire concept of motivation and just throw it right out the window. Motivation is a total scam. It's just a fleeting chemical spike in your brain that relies way too heavily on your mood. You know what actually builds empires? Discipline. If you want to change your life, you've got to stop waiting around to feel inspired and just start executing like your future literally depends on it. Because at the end of the day, discipline is simply this: doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. The people sitting at the very top of their game didn't just wake up one morning feeling super pumped and suddenly become successful. No way. They put in the gritty, boring hours when absolutely nobody was watching. They showed up every single day, especially, and I mean especially, on the days they were tired, frustrated, and doubting themselves. That is exactly how you win. But instead of building that discipline, our brains are incredibly good at feeding us these comfortable little lies. You know the ones. Oh, I'll definitely start on Monday. Next month, I'll be totally ready. The timing just isn't right now. I just don't have the time. Or my personal favorite, I'm too tired. Listen, you have the time. You're just spending it glued to your couch. You have the energy. You're just not using it. You can start right now. You're just afraid.
Lies. Every single one of them. The absolute unvarnished truth is that if you really, truly wanted it, you would start right now. Period. End of story. You wouldn't wait for some random magical Monday to suddenly change your life. You've got to stop lying to yourself and stop pretending you don't have control, because you absolutely do.
Look, success demands a massive price tag. You simply cannot have a millionaire mindset while you're still walking around with a broke mentality. You can't expect to get into the absolute best physical shape of your life if you're constantly eating garbage and skipping your workouts, and you definitely can't build an empire while wasting hours of your day on pure nonsense. It's a simple formula. If you want to live how others can't, you have to be willing to do what others won't.
So what does this actual blueprint look like? Well, it means waking up early when your bed is super warm and cozy. It means dragging yourself to the gym when you are completely exhausted. It's about putting in those late extra hours while your competition is fast asleep. And it means actively saying no to distractions when everyone around you is saying yes. Doing the hard things, the stuff nobody else wants to do, is exactly how you separate yourself. That's how you go from average to completely unstoppable.
Now, as you start doing those hard things, we really need to reframe how you look at failure. Let's be real. You are going to make mistakes. You are absolutely going to fall flat on your face. And guess what? That is a good thing. Because failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a mandatory part of it. Think about it. Every single winner you look up to has failed way more times than the average person has even tried. Failure is where you learn, it's where you grow, and it's where you toughen up.
You absolutely cannot let failure break you or make you weak. Hear me out on this. The only real failure in this life, the only one that actually counts, is quitting. If you stop, if you just throw in the towel and give up, well, that's when you actually lose. Your job right now is to fail, learn the brutal lesson, get right back up, and keep moving forward with just relentless focus.
And you have to take action right now, because time, man, it slips away terrifyingly fast. I mean, tomorrow so easily turns into next week. Next week, please right into next month. And before you even realize what's happened, a whole year has gone and you're completely out of time. Tomorrow is not promised to you or anyone else. One day you're going to wake up and realize you have no chances left. And believe me, regret is going to hurt infinitely more than discipline ever could.
So ask yourself, are you really okay with just existing? Waking up, going to a job, going home, wasting a few hours, going to sleep, and just hitting repeat until you die, leaving behind zero impact and zero fulfilled dreams? Or do you actually want to live? Do you want to build a life of actual purpose, a life where you leave a legacy and can honestly say you gave this world absolutely everything you had?
If you want to actually live, you've got to start cutting the dead weight right now. Stop those late nights staying up watching useless content. Kill the daily distractions that do absolutely nothing to move the needle forward in your life. And honestly, most importantly, you have to cut out the people who keep you comfortable in your own mediocrity. You just don't get to chase your biggest dreams while trying to stay exactly the same person you are today. You have to make a choice.
So what means more to you? Your future or your excuses? It ultimately all boils down to this one thing. Winners fall in love with the process. They don't just sit around obsessing over the end result. They actively respect the daily grind. When it gets hard, when it gets incredibly, painfully uncomfortable, that's when most average people stop. But winners, they push harder. They show up when nobody else does.
Which leaves us with one final, ultimate question to wrap up this explainer. Who are you going to be when your time is finally up? When you're looking back at your life, are you going to see a mountain of wasted potential and a pile of cheap excuses? Or are you going to see a story of relentless, unapologetic pursuit? Because you are writing that exact story right now with every single decision you make today. So stop waiting around, take control of your life right now, and go make something of it.